Hallo meine lieben Freunde, herzlich willkommen zu Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. Sorry, mein Englisch ist ein bisschen... Ja, wir haben den letzten Part weitergemacht bei diesem komischen Fall mit dem botanischen Garten, haben ein paar Spuren gefunden, die wir vielleicht nicht hätten finden sollen, aber jetzt haben wir sie trotzdem gefunden und jetzt gehen wir später schauen, was diese Spuren für uns bereithalten oder auch nicht halten. Und ich bin ein Dödel. Ich bin ein echter Dödel. So. Jetzt geht's an. Ja, vergessen meine Uhr zu stellen. Gut, also weiter geht's mit der Aufnahme. So, fortfahren. Ja, stimmt, wir haben ja mit Tobi das letzte Mal was gefunden. Mal sehen, finden Sie heraus und ermordet hat. Untersuchen Sie das Gebäude in Kew Gardens und sammeln Sie die Informationen über Monticutan. Finden Sie die Pflanzen und die Monticutan getötet worden. Finden Sie die Pflanzen in den letzten Ausstellungen. Miss Margaret White, wohlhabend aus, dennoch kann sie eine Reihe von Punkten auf ihre Hände erkennen. Diese auf die Belga zurückführen, eine Krankheit, die nach einer längeren Phase in mangelnder Ernährung auftritt, zeigt, dass sie ihre Kindheit sehr ärmlich Verhältnisse gelebt hat. So. Diese Flasche können wir auch noch untersuchen. Das machen wir auch gleich in der Baker Street. Damit Tobi wieder da sitzt. Tobi. Ich hoffe, dass er im letzten Fall des Spiels auch nochmal einen Auftritt hat. Der kleine Tobi.
Let us determine just what we have found here. Let us pour liquid from the bottle into a test tube to perform an analysis. This is the bottle that we found hidden at Kew Gardens. Let us use a pipette to take a sample of the liquid and fill a test tube.
Nehmen eine Pipette. So, test tubes.
A colorless, water-based liquid. Quite a strong floral aroma.
Holmes? What are you doing?
It has a bitter taste.
What if it's poisonous?
Did you ever see poison stored in enormous jars like that? Anyway, there is a doctor nearby.
So what do you think it is?
It is some kind of organic compound. Let us vaporize the liquid and see what happens. Small colorless crystals. Colorless, tiny crystals that are soluble in water with a floral smell and a bitter taste. Watson, could you pass me that small bottle, please?
Of course. Here you are. Holmes, do you know what it is?
Wagner's reagent. There was a label on the bottle that you passed to me.
No, Holmes, I meant the bottle that we found.
Let me add the reagent and see if there is any sediment, and then I shall tell you. I need to take a pipette and make several drops of the reagent.
Ach, gekommen.
Red sediment, just as I suspected. This liquid is of organic origin. It contains some alkaloid. Most likely it is unstable, and that is why there is a quantity of gold dust to prevent contamination. This mixture is probably a fertilizer. Someone was carrying out unusual experiments in the garden's laboratory. My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
So, also, was wissen wir? Wir haben herausgefunden, dass wir es mit einem Dünger zu tun haben, mit dem wir es aber mehr wissen wir jetzt auch schon nicht mehr. Also zurück in die... nach Kew Gardens wollte ich. So. Montague Dunn hat die tödliche Pflanzengift eingeatmet und mit ermordet werden sollte. So. Nachdem Montague Dunn das Kolonialhaus eingeschlossen wurde, inhalierte er das tödliche Gift. Wieso als Familie gibt es keine weiteren Schlussfolgerungen hier. Dieser Fall ist zart. Dieser Fall ist tatsächlich ziemlich zart.
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the colonial collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
But, most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
You're not sure, then? But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
As deputy director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression, great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
You mentioned that Mr. Dunn led a particular lifestyle.
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say. He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That and...
And...
He had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
What is your opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
He's useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was?
Oh yes. He forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure. It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr. Holmes.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert. That is, except for Miss Margaret White, who was such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
You mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany. You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And why, he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
Okay.
Tell me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
Mr. Hamish, was someone from your family connected with Kew Gardens?
Family? No. I'm the only one with a passion for botany.
Scheiße, was war das?
I do not think so. This photograph of you and your father at Kew Gardens suggests the opposite.
But you have no right to.
Do tell us more about your father.
He was, indeed, the greatest botanist of his time in the British Empire. He worked together with Montague Dunn until the end of his life. He brought me in at the age of 12.
Did he get on well with Mr. Dunn?
No, I couldn't say that. They expanded Kew Gardens together, that was all. And it was all my father's work, for Dunn always lived the high life.
So Mr. Dunn was not helping your father?
Oh yes, he provided the financial support. And as far as he was concerned, that fulfilled his role. But the worst of it was, he declared himself as the master of Kew Gardens. Fame meant nothing to my father. So it was easy for Mr. Dunn to take all the credit.
There is a bust of Montague Dunn in the nursery.
A bust? Oh, that old thing. Further proof of that outrageous ego of his.
But why in that room, in particular?
Oh, I don't know. It has always been there.
It is strange, because I recovered a fragment of the bust inside the Colonial Collection Room.
Really? Oh, well, so I am mistaken. It ought to have been removed during the cleanup. This room is so small.
Do you know who moved it?
I have no idea. Surely Mr. Dunn requested it. Do you have any more questions like this? Because fragments of rock are not my responsibility.
Evidently. Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation. None of the 3 people who work at Kew Gardens know why half of the colonial collection was cleared. So, someone is lying. It is obvious.
Gut, also. Hamish Wood, neuer Direktor. Martin Hamish hatte ein Motiv. Er glaubte dann, habe ihn mit seinem Vater auf das Leben ruiniert, indem er das ganze Lob für ihren Verdienst eingeheimst hatte. Hamish wollte die Leitung des Gartens übernehmen, wusste jedoch, dass es nicht möglich war, solange Dan lebt. Okay. Sprechen wir nochmal mit den anderen Kandidaten hier. Das ist der zweite. Hallo Albert, schön dich zu sehen.
I perceive that you are passionate about the Royal Navy.
Passionate? No, not really. I like ships, that is all.
Are you quite sure? You do not seem to be so interested in plants.
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else.
And yet I know that the Royal Naval College rejected your application.
Ah, you truly are as clever as they say. Yes, that's correct. And in fact, my father was strongly against the idea. He did his best to ruin my plans, although I almost did succeed. But my dreams were shattered, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Okay, also. Alberts Demütigung mit Albert. Albert hatte ein Motiv für den Mord. Wie sein Vater Montagu, dieses hatte seinen Traum zerstört, an die Royal Navy anzuschließen. Doch der Mord hat sich Albert nicht nur gerecht, sondern auch die Nachfolge seines Vaters als Direktor von Kew Gardens übernehmen können. Interesting. Investigation. Sollte man nur noch die letzte finden. Die war, glaube ich, in der Nursery. Und da nicht. Ich glaube, da ist sie drin. Sie jagen an dem Saathausfall, glaube ich. Da ist sie.
Poor Mr. Montagu. It is so awful. Poor Mr. Montagu. It is so awful.
Sagt mir nicht mehr. Das awful ist, war sie selber. Das bringt mir nur nichts. Finden Sie die ganzen Pflanzen, die in Kew Garden gestohlen wurden. Finden Sie die Pflanzen, die mit der Monty-Kytan getötet wurde. Untersuchen Sie das Gebäude in Kew Gardens. Kytan.
A ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings.
Okay. Hier ist noch irgendwas zu tun nachher, aber ich habe noch keine Ahnung was. Gut, die Feuerstelle habe ich mir komplett schon angeguckt. Die Frage ist, gibt es noch irgendwo verschlossene Türen hier? Irgendwo Türen, die ich noch nicht offen habe. Oder geöffnet habe. Tja, das war's einmal von diesem Part. Hallo meine lieben Freunde. Und wir sehen uns wieder auf der professorischen Endcard. Ja, das war eigentlich die Folge von Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Wir werden die Ermittlungen natürlich weiter fortsetzen. Links zu meinen Let's Plays, auch zu den abgeschlossenen, natürlich unten in der Videobeschreibung. Auch unten der Link zum lieben Lunk, mit dem ich die Elder Scrolls Online Let's Playe, und bis dahin verbleibe ich mal aus eurer Gaming Dragon mit einem heißen Feuer für diesen Part.